Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a hidden secret room. Now what's great about this, it is super discreet, and you can literally make this up to 16 blocks long. Now you really don't have to make it that size, but the option is there. So let me show you how this works. Once you hit that button, the floor will completely drop about 2 blocks down, and you will have this awesome room to really place whatever you want. You can even have this as a storage room, an armory. I mean, sky's the limit how you can really customize this to your personal settings. And the cool thing is, you don't have to make this 16 blocks long. You can make this anywhere from 2 blocks long to 16, so you really have that option to really customize this to your personal size and setting. Now once you hit that button, the pistons will extend upwards and you will be at ground level in seconds. And look at that. It will be as if nothing ever happened. Because that's what we want. We want that secret room. And the great thing is, there's no limit to how big you can really make this. I mean, if you guys have some repeaters, you have to extend this larger than 16 blocks long. Now check it out. We have a whole different platform here. We have some wood. I try to really show you a different style on how you really make this. And guys, you could put this anywhere. You could put this outside, in a castle, in your mansion. I mean, there's so many applications just for this kind of system. I love it. Look at that. Got that wood trimming, and the second you hit that button, it's as if nothing ever happened. Which is exactly what we want. So, check it out. You will be needing a block of your choice, some half slabs, some pistons, sticky pistons, droppers, buttons. You will also need some hoppers as well, redstone dust, redstone torch, repeaters, comparators, and of course some form of lighting. Now feel free to pause at this point because you have to have this set up. Okay, so this takes some time, so pause if you need to and just kind of have this layout ready. Now once you have that all ready and set up, I want you to go to the back part of the build. Okay, you're going to place one block from one corner and stretch it from one end down to the other. Then you're going to put one piece of redstone dust on each side and a repeater going forward. Then you're going to place a block in front of it with a space and a block on top, you see? Then you're going to put double sticky pistons on both sides. Then place one torch right between, and it's going to create this double extension. Now we're going to repeat this entire process. So you're going to extend this. For this example, I'm going to use 15 blocks, which was of course a total of 16. And you're going to do that from one end all the way down to the other. Now once you set up your entire platform, you're going to put one block on each side and of course repeat the same exact process. Then I want you to place some repeaters going forward towards the block right across. Now this is very important, guys. Make sure you put some redstone dust right behind it, but on the last one, leave it blank. Okay? Do not put anything there. Now I'll place some repeaters right across. And of course some redstone dust right behind it. But make sure you do not have anything on the last one. Fantastic. Then you're going to place some pistons, of course, upside down. Well, right on top, going upwards, I mean. And one more time, again, right on top of it as well. Now what we're creating is a double piston extension. Then right here on top, you're going to place your block of choice. Okay, that's going to be ground level. Well, once you bring it down, of course, it will be ground level. Then, of course, repeat that on both sides, and I want you to have your torches ready because you're going to place it right underneath. Perfect. You're definitely going to place your redstone torches right underneath to create that double piston extension. Then right on top of the sticky pistons, make sure you put your block of choice that's going to be on ground level. Be whatever you want. I mean, it's literally sky's the limit, guys. Now at this point, you're going to place a block there and delete the one underneath. And you're going to repeat the same format on the other side. Then you're going to place a repeater going inwards. You see? Then place a solid block right in front of it with a dropper right on top on both sides. And make sure you put one hopper going downwards. And of course, in each dropper, make sure you put at least one piece of dirt or some kind of block inside. Then put 2 blocks there, delete that. And of course, put the half slab on the side. 2 blocks, then a half slab right there, and delete the one in the center. Then you'll put a torch right underneath. Perfect. A comparator going outwards, and some redstone dust right there. Now this actual little mechanic here is going to create a double pulse so that the pistons could go down. Now at this point, place some blocks right there, and you're going to extend it right across. See? Parallel to the torches, you see? Place a piece of redstone dust there, and stretch it right across that platform. Now we're going to get into that in a bit. I'm going to show you 2 different formats to really set that up. Now delete that temporarily, and that as well, because you want to place your torch right there. Now once you place your redstone dust and your repeater, it won't mess with the pistons, because trust me guys, if you put the torch there, it's going to create a pulse. It's going to go to literally going to throw the whole thing out of whack, and you really don't want that. Trust me, it's a headache. Awesome. So let's test this out. I'm going to place a block there, and you're going to place a torch or something to activate it right there. You see? That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want that double extension. Now once you delete it, check it out. Bam. Right back to normal. Fantastic. So make sure it does that to make sure that everything is set up correctly so that you don't have any issues, because otherwise it will go back and forth and it gets real sloppy. Now at this point, you want to place some half slabs on the side of it, on top of that block. Alright, let's delete this a little bit more, just to add a little more framing to it, just to make it a little more neat. Perfect. And what I want you to do is create a half slab kind of platform parallel to the blocks in the middle. One that will allow you to open the chest underneath that you're going to place. And it actually gives a little more room. Trust me, it makes a world of difference. Now let's cover this up as well. And at this point, guys, you're going to create a nice frame all around the entire storage area. Okay? Fantastic. So you should have this kind of layout, or the layout of your floor set up. You see? Amazing. We got a nice little section here that you could really put your own personal custom to it. I mean, it's really sky's the limit. So I want you to delete that block right there. Place a different block just so you can know that's where the button's going to be located. And right on top around that area, we're going to place a button, but that's going to be temporary. Now guys, I'm going to show you 2 different formats to really set your activation button. So right on top of that redstone, you can place a side block, a block there, a half slab underneath, and delete the first block, you see? Then you'll place some redstone dust, a half slab right there, and a block. So you got to get this kind of like parallel to it, so delete that. And you're going to place a block there, delete the half slab, and you're going to connect the rest of the redstone to the main system, you see? And the block of your choice on top of that, because as you can see, that button will activate the same redstone that this button over here is activating as well. You see? Perfect. That's what we want. We want the buttons to really activate each other. And right there at that point, make sure you add a half slab just so you don't interfere with the signal. Now guys, I'm going to show you a way to actually activate the system with a button and with a hopper system. So let me show you. We're going to delete this. as you can see, just activate it and put the pistons right back up. And we're going to delete this unnecessary block. Now place a piston right there and some sand right on top with a half slab in the front. Then you will place a block there and there as well. Delete the first two. And you want to place a sticky piston going downwards. See, parallel to the sand. Then you're going to place one repeater going forward, just like so. Then you're going to delete these two blocks, put a torch right there, and a block underneath that sticky piston. Now guys, this is a really great design. It's very simple, works with all systems. The only thing I really don't like about it is the fact that it actually makes a little bit of extra noise. But the cool thing is it works perfectly fine. I mean, you won't have any issues with this. It's really just a great way to do it. And of course, once you hit that button, it's going to retract perfectly smooth. Which is fine, it's not a problem. Now, if you guys want something just slightly silent and doesn't really make any noise, I'm going to show you how to really set this up with droppers and hoppers. So we're going to delete that, place about 4 half slabs going forward. Then at this point on the second block right there, place a dropper facing the wall, one going upwards and the other one going the opposite direction with a hopper going downwards in front of it, you see? Make sure you have that layout. Now bear in mind, this particular mechanic doesn't work with all systems. I've been hearing that sometimes you get some complaints. Now make sure in that first dropper that's going upwards, you place a piece of dirt in there, and right there you place a comparator with a repeater going forward. Then of course, we're going to delete that, place a block there with some redstone dust. Then right here, place a block there, a block on top, delete the first one. Delete that, place a block there, and add some redstone dust right across, because that repeater is going to activate it. Now that's my personal favorite, just because once you hit it, you don't hear the activation. See? It's completely silent. I mean, I love it. But it doesn't always work with every system. So you have two options to really set your button up. Just bear in mind, if you want to set a button up to a different location, that you activate that redstone dust underneath. Now at this point, guys, you just have to cover it up and pretty much decorate it to your likings. And of course, just stock it up with whatever you want. Now, a special note, guys, make sure you do not use any trap chests, okay? Because trap chests will activate the piston, throwing the whole thing off, and trust me, that will be a headache and a half. And you don't want to deal with that. So remember, just use regular chests or things that don't activate a redstone dust. Once you've done that, the system is perfect. I want to thank everybody for watching, and if you could please leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you.